to pick up where we left off on Friday. We left off on question 16. We're moving on. Voices off, please.
Hey!
Voices off. We're moving on. Okay, so we left off on number 16. We're going to go ahead and work on number 17. Remember, this squared means that we now have 5a plus 3 times 5a plus 3. Okay? So we do the same thing with FOIL. Right? First, outer, inner, last. So you're going to have 25a squared. Go ahead. We're going to have 15a, 15a, and 9. Yes?
Could you have an exponent to an exponent?
Sure. But that's not relevant right now. Okay, so here would be your answer. 25a squared plus 30a plus the 9. Bless you. Bless you. Questions? Questions about number 17.
Is it star?
Number 17 is starred. Yes. Star number 17.
Hey, Will!
I'm studying.
I already thought about that.
Okay, number 18. We're factoring. I'm not telling you. Ha.
Why?
Ha. I'm not telling you until after we've worked through the problem if it's starred. What?
I can do those questions.
You can do these? Okay. So what times what? What plus what? Guys, I want to get through this, and I can't if you're all talking at the same time. Okay? So because there's no coefficient here, I can use this strategy. Remember, the times is equal to the C value, and the addition is equal to the B value. So you should have negative 15 and positive 4. And that's what works for both of them. So you get x minus 15 times x plus 4, and that's your answer. I'm sorry? Where did I get what?
The numbers. You're so silly. Oh, no, never mind.
Okay.
No.
Okay, for number 19, you can look here and you can remember one of the first things you should always look at is their greatest common factor. So my greatest common factor here is 3. So I'm going to do 3 times the quantity g squared, because 3 times g squared would give me 3g squared, minus 12g plus 32. And then now I'm going to ignore this 3 for a little bit. And I'm just going to say what times what equals 32. What plus what equals negative 12. So what you should have is negative 8 and negative 4. So you have x minus 8 times x minus 4. And then don't forget to bring the 3 down for your final answer. How can you check your work when we are factoring? You can FOIL, right? And then that will tell you exactly, you should get exactly what you started with. Okay? Put a star next to number 19. Okay, number 20 is just like what we've been doing. We just don't have a middle value. We don't have a B value. So when we do our strategy, what times what equals negative 121, what plus what equals 0? Because we don't have, right, it just tells us it would cancel out. So you should have negative 11 and 11. I guess this is Q. Sorry for using X's up here for number 19. Should be G. Okay. Q minus 11 and Q plus 11. Number 21 can't be solved with greatest common factor or this strategy because we have a 7 in front of the coefficient, or the coefficient for n squared. So this is when we use the AC method. So what times what equals negative 56? What plus what equals 1? Right, where did I get that negative 56 from? A times C. So I'm going to have 8 and negative 7. So I'm going to end up with n plus 8 times n minus 7. And then I take this coefficient and I put it back into both of these. So I have 7n plus 8 times 7n minus 7. And then one of these can factor out, right? Which one has the greatest common factor?
The minus 7.
Yep. So this is going to be 7n plus 8 times 7 times the quantity n minus 1. We divide by that coefficient again, and now I'm just left with these two quantities. So my answer is 7n plus 8 times n minus 1. So that's just, yeah, so that's part of the method where you then have to put this coefficient back in, figure out which one you can factor, and then you take that out, and then you're left with this, right? So if I were to FOIL these, that would give me this. But if I leave the 7s in there, then this 7, I'm going to end up with 49n squared and totally different values.
So that's not starred.
No. But number 20 is.
Oh, thank goodness that's not.
You can star number 20. Okay.
One was hard.
All right. Let's keep moving. Question 22 is starred. This is where you find the zeros. Right? So this is where it's already factored, and we set them equal to 0. So I'm going to have x equals negative 3. X equals 1/2. And I know some of you can probably look at these and be like, oh, that's the opposite. Or you can say, I'm going to add this over and divide, so I would get 1/2. You don't have to write this process out. It's, you know, however you've been able to remember this skill. It is a multiple choice exam, if that helps. It's multiple choice. So it's not on Edge Elastic, it's Canvas, and you just go in and you, like, number 1, A, B, C, D, number 2, A, B, C, D, and so on. But you have, like, the answers on your paper copy. 20 questions worth 20 points, like total 20 points. 1 point. Yeah. Okay, number 23. We're going to do the same step here eventually, but first we have to find out the two quantities. So I'm going to have what times what equals negative 63. What plus what equals negative 2. So I had to do a little more work for this one. I had to find the quantities. And then I set these equal to 0. Again, you might be able to skip this step. So we're going to have x equals 9. and x equals negative 7. 23 is starred. Okay, so I know you guys were really excited that the other one wasn't starred for AC method, but number 24 is starred. So you still have to learn AC method. Relearn it. Relearn AC method. All right, so I'm going to have what times what equals 20, what plus what equals 9. I'm going to get 4 and 5 for that. Because this has a coefficient. Like if there's a number here, then you can't just do what times what equals 2, what plus what equals 9. Right? So then I have x plus 4 and x plus 5. I'm going to put the 10 into both of them. And what you're probably going to notice is both of these can be factored, which is fine because then when you divide it by, it'll make sense when you divide by 10. So I can take 2 out of here, 2 times 5x plus 2, and I can take 5 out of here, 5 times 2x plus 1. When I divide by 10, the 2 times 5 gives me 10 divided by 10, so these both cancel out. And then I set these equal to 0. I'm just writing this quickly so you guys can then see it. I don't know what to tell you. Yes, Gabby.
When you do before you divide by the coefficient, and it just happens to be 10%?
You're talking about for this one?
Yeah.
It's always going to be divided by this A coefficient.
Okay, so it just happens to be 10%.
Right. And then, like, because like something should have told you that I'm going to have numbers left out here that would multiply to make 10. Yeah.
Wait, why do we have to make why do we have to make the y 0 and do all that 0 stuff?
Remember, those are the x-intercepts of the parabola? Right? Yeah. So we're coming up with where would the parabola cross the y-axis. So it would be at negative 2/5 and negative 1/2 is where that would cross, and then we don't know what the vertex is, but we could find it by doing opposite b over 2a. Right?
I think we're good.
Okay. Okay. Hi. Go ahead. Thank you. Okay, this one's a little bit easier because it's just like how we don't have a middle term.
You can't see it.
You guys can't see number 25? Wait, did you put the star next to number 24?
Yes.
Okay. It's a little easier. Okay, what times what equals negative 225? What plus what equals 0? Because we don't have a b value, right? So you're going to get negative 15 and 15.
Are you gonna post this video tonight?
Yep. The only reason I think I posted the one on Friday later because it wasn't done processing on YouTube by the time I got home. And then I got home and I had to start all over again.
How'd you get the 225?
25 times negative 9.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
We get to use calculators, right?
Yes, you do.
Yay.
Calculators aren't really gonna help.
Calculators
That's
I
we
would
should
not
do
know
this
what
one way
9
more.
times 25 is.
This one's way easier.
Okay, so then I'll set these up again. 5x minus 3 equals 0. 5x plus 3 equals 0. Gonna end up with 3/5 and negative 3/5. Cooper, you babysit?
I'm not one Cooper watching on baby.
Who do you watch?
It's my mom's friends' kids.
How old are they?
One of them's like 5, one of them's like
Pays more than babysitting.
Okay.
It's easier.
All right.
I'm good. Ask my mom.
I believe that.
Cooper's good.
Okay.
I believe that you are like when you have to be like super. I bet you can.
I'm good. So much easier.
Are they boys or girls?
One of them.
Well,
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Cooper, you should quit that job and go mow yard.
No, I'm impressed.
We're both boys and girls.
What?
Cooper, you should quit that job.
You do? Okay. That's impressive.
It's an easy job.
It is easy. Yeah. I mean, it's not a terrible job. Usually you just give them dinner, right, and watch a movie. I believe that. Yeah, don't let them win, Ben. Don't let them win. Nope. You have to have standards. Okay, let's keep working through this. Number 26. So, notice that there's a square root, there's a squared here. So we're going to do square root of x plus 3 squared and the square root of 64. So you're going to get x plus 3 equals plus or minus 8. So then you subtract the 3 from both sides, and you get x equals negative 3 plus or minus 8. So you get negative 11 and 5. Right? So if you see something like this that has an exponent of 2, take the square root of both sides. Put a star next to number 26. Okay, number 27. Same thing, except we have to add the 5 to the other side first. I'm going to take the square root of both. I'm going to get x plus 6 equals plus or minus square root of 5.
I don't have to worry about that one. I already know that. Here we go. Get everything right. And then I'm gonna get promoted to geometry by the end of this year.
You're going to go to geometry. You mean like you're going to finish geometry down there at the, like next
Yeah.
week? Okay. All right, so this is my answer. Negative 6 plus or minus the square root of 5. Yes, sir.
Are you able to skip geometry?
No.
No, I already asked multiple times.
Let's take algebra 2.
I tried so hard to skip geometry, they wouldn't let me.
No, I mean like, once you're in,
Honestly, this class is really hard.
just know how. Miss Mark,
I would rather be
like, when you're in, let's say algebra next week, we're all one step behind in algebra. What I do is I have to
One step right now.
and go to algebra.
Brother, that actually,
Yes. Because you use algebra in the geometry, but you need to know the geometry to take algebra 2. Like algebra 2 is like a combination of algebra and geometry. Yes. Depends. Okay. Guys, voices off, please, so I can go over this. On the exam, it's going to have you just leave it like this, so you won't do it as decimals, which I know you guys would figure out when you looked at the answer choices, right?
Oh yeah, she has an answer key on campus. Could you still look through that?
Wait,
No, you-
can you
no.
be done with math after you take algebra 2?
No, you have to take 4 years of math in high school. Okay, guys, we have got to move on. Vincent, 26 is starred. Yep. Yes. No. Okay, number 28. This is where we're going to use the quadratic formula because you can't use any other method. So we have, where can I write this?
Yeah. You get high school credits for this class, right?
yes.
You can. Yep.
That was like this.
Okay. So there's our quadratic formula. I suggest you write it somewhere on your study guide. Yep. And then we're going to put the numbers in. So opposite of B is going to be -6. All right, so the first step is to just put the numbers in the formula.
Well, this is like one of the stuff I actually know how to do. This is like
Good.
it's like the only thing I know how to do.
I don't believe that.
I forgot everything.
Yeah, I almost see my head before. Thank you.
Oh, this should be
I don't
negative.
even need to worry about it. I already know how to do it. So the other stuff I need to learn.
Yeah, we're done. We're just work out the finals.
I have a red pen.
We're watching a movie.
Wait, what movie are we watching?
The Martian.
Oh yeah.
You didn't
hear that enough times.
I thought we were watching Glory.
That's insane.
Has nothing to do with me. I saw it. I love it. Whose sign is it? Well, every time I drive by there, I think about the Lorax, so it's just perfect that somebody put that on there.
My mom was happy.
The Lorax. It says, I speak for the trees.
Yeah, what we're gonna do is they're gonna